Coaster Alex here, and this is my top 5 roller coasters at Dorney Park. I went to Dorney Park about 2 weeks ago, so I am still, refreshing memory of how the rides were. So yeah, this is my top 5 favorite roller coasters at Dorney Park, and I did ride all of them. And obviously, you probably guys know which one is not going to be in the top 5 because it's horrible, but yeah. Alright, number 5 is Stinger. It's semi-smooth, it's okay. I didn't really find it to be like sleeky smooth. No headbanging really. It's good for, this is a good ride for Vekoma. Um, it's not like really bad or anything. Like some rides they have like, boomerangs or something like that. Well, I mean, those are kind of smooth too. Cons. This is very slow and sluggish, or at least when I rode it. It wasn't like too fast, too intense. It really wasn't. It was just kind of like a back and forth thing. Okay, you're done. Get off the ride. This does have slower operations. It is a shuttle coaster. It's okay for like a shuttle coaster type, but it is a little bit slower because like the operators maybe that day were like stupidly bad. It was kind of slow. But yes, so on to number 4 is Possessed. Pros: smooth, intense. This is smooth, really smooth, intense. But there is a tiny bit of some sort of rattle, but like I couldn't really determine if it was a rattle or not. It was kind of just like it was smooth, but at the same time I thought I felt something like not smooth. Fat operations are really good for a shuttle coaster. This is actually really, yeah. Even though it's like a good time on the ride, they didn't have this stall on. Unfortunately, what I mean by stall is when you go up that vertical part, it holds you there for like 2 seconds and then it jumps you back down. They didn't enable that, which kind of pissed me off because, or they did not enable, they didn't turn it on. They kept it off. It's a rough launch. Um, I mean, I liked it. It was my first ever launch coaster, but to me, it just felt a little rough. It is a little forceless. I thought this was gonna be heavy in the G-forces, especially on the little curves and the that big twist up. I think it's like a heartline roll, but just vertical or something like that. That's actually pretty fun. There is a little bit of heavy on that heartline roll, vertical heartline roll. I actually don't know what it's called, so I'm just gonna call it a vertical heartline roll. But yeah, a little bit of heavy. So on number 3 is Hydra the Revenge. Um, this is actually a great ride. I'm not gonna lie. All these rides are pretty good. uh, Pros. Uniqueness. This is the most unique floor list. There is nothing like it in the world. Nothing like this. Maybe Hair Razor is a tiny bit unique, but that's about it. Everything else is just like different, or not different. They're like all similar. Like Scream, Dominator, Kraken's a little bit similar to them. Um, Airtime in the back seat down the drop. You also get some really good hang time in the front row, and that shows row. You get a lot of hang time. I mean, any row you get a lot of hang time. Good operations. I actually found this coaster to have pretty good operations, especially for some sort of B&M. Very, very fast operations, or at least when I was there. Like, I remember there was like a good queue line for like the front row, and then all of a sudden, like, I just realized, oh my gosh, I'm actually on the front row right now. I think they were running 2 trains that day, so when I went, it was kind of dead that day, so I got 6 rides on Hydra, 6 rides on Talon, 4 on Steel Force, 2 on Possessed, 1 on Stinger, and 1 on Thunderhawk. It was dead, so it was awesome. I just kept looping around the park on going on Hydra and Talon and Steel Force. There is, okay, for the cons, there is a bad rattle. Especially on that turnaround that go up the lift hill, especially on the Cobra roll. Definitely, there's a bad rattle on the Cobra roll too. It's kind of throughout the whole entire ride. Back row is good for that one airtime hill before going into that last corkscrew. That's a good airtime moment. I love the drop in back row. Front row, really, really, really bad headbanging. I couldn't handle it. I never rode front row. I rode second row. Um, After that, and it was still really bad. And then I took a break, looped around the park, did talent surf, and then I went back and did back row, and it was actually a lot better, like so much better. So yeah, I suggest doing back row on this ride. Semi-forceless. I do agree with the people saying it's forceless, but there are some very forceful moments actually. The Cobra roll, going into the Cobra roll on front row, and then transitioning out the Cobra roll back row. That's pretty forceful. The last corkscrew, it's very forceful. That one's a good one. Good little airtime. Not airtime. Forceful moment right there. So let's go on number two is Steel Force. Now, many of you guys will just really be swapping my top. This is an opinionized top five. People will be swapping everything around. I know. Not all this is like completely accurate to you guys, but I have my own opinions. The pros. Air time on that little airtime buffet. It's almost as good as Phoenix's airtime. I mean, Phoenix's airtime doesn't last as long, but Phoenix's airtime is not as good. I would go better than this, kinda. I'd rank this higher than I'd rank Phoenix higher than this. Even though Phoenix is lower in my top 10, it's just because it was like a shorter ride in the airtime buffet. But if you're looking at airtime, Phoenix would be way up in my top 10 if you're just concentrating on airtime. Restraints do not touch your waist. Oh, that's actually scary. If someone's seatbelt fails in the ride, I could potentially see some sort of like death falling. I might sound GP. Okay, I'm sorry, I sound really GP, but when I went on it, like it's at least about 2 to 3 inches off of your waist, and then you have a seatbelt holding you in. So if your seatbelt fails, then I don't know, because I've seen reports of seatbelt fails, but I'm sure that will happen. I'm trying not to act GP. Very forceful helix. You do pull some really good laterals on that. I was trying to raise my hands up, but like it kept on getting pushed down, like pushed sideways. So I did that little Superman thing, like like pushed my fist forward into the cons. First hill has no airtime. It's just blank. The airtime is just blank. I mean, okay, maybe just the tiniest floater airtime, but it's just nothing. You don't experience anything on that first hill. It's a little rough, especially at the back row. It does have some bad rattle, not like a rattle, but like, the car's just shaky and stuff like that. And even on a full train, the back row is just slower operations. I did experience something. Someone's glasses fell off the track, and the station, or somehow it got down there. But like if they dropped it or something, so they had to like make the train run with like no passengers and get it like stopped on the lift hill. And they took these like big giant like grabber thingies or whatever. Like it was awesome. They took it out and everyone was clapping for them. It was funny. So my number one is Thunderhawk Talon. Pros. Intense. Underrated B&M. This is a really underrated B&M invert. You got a fast and well-paced ride. I mean, oh geez, that low to the ground helix is so good. It's so much fun. Intense. Um, Forceful. The loop, the 0G roll, the Immelman, very forceful. The corkscrew is also really good too. Blackout worthy. On a night, I got a night ride on this with a full pack train, front row, middle seat, or the right middle seat. Um, Going into the Immelman, like through that tunnel thing, I almost blacked out. I had tunnel vision. It was that intense. It was awesome. My first ever experience of a gray out or a tunnel vision or whatever. Glossy smooth. I love the drop in the back where you really get whipped over that, and it's a good whip. It's not like a ow, hurt my shoulders or something like that. Headbang. No, it's a good whip. It's a really nice. It's kind of like a corkscrew whip thingy. I love the 0G roll on the far left. You get really, really whipped around that one. It's because it turns like the other way. It turns right, I think, or whatever. You get whipped around really good. Con, slight headbanging on the corkscrew, but that shouldn't really be too much of a problem since the rest of the ride is so glossy smooth. And then the brake run is really just like, I never really was appealed by the brake run. It was really just not my type. It was kind of bad. It really hurt my stomach. It really pushed, like, the way it stopped, like, so hard. It, like, pushes the restraints into your stomach, and it just, like, hurts. I didn't like it. So yeah, that's the only really cons about this ride. I'm trying to think of another con. Maybe the lift hill. is kind of is like it does have like a weird like shake to it. Um, but that's alright because that's just the lift hill. It's not the actual experience of the ride. The layout is good, but it's funky. I love that part. Now let me tell you something about this ride before I end the video. So you know that one part after the that big like turnaround after the Immelman, like that big like helix that goes up into the air. That's like right above the sign, right? That one part where like you go up and then like it brings you back down. You can kind of see it. If I don't know if you can see my cruiser, but this part right here. So if you just stay there and then you go down it, you get like no airtime really. But if you hold on to your station, pull yourself upwards, you get actually get like some sort of good floater airtime, like some sort of airtime that I never experienced. It's weird. If you just pull yourself up on that one drop down to go into the corkscrew, it's actually you could like get some weird airtime. It's it's not eject. It's in between ejector and floater. It's actually pretty neat. I love it. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. This is my top 5 rides at Dorney Park. I'm not even gonna talk about Thunderhawk. That thing sucked. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, like everything. Blah, blah, blah.